Hey, I thought I'd give you a call on this podcast machine that I have here. I thought I'd give you all a call and just say hi. Oh man. I'm sitting in my car and I'm just having a little me time, a little moment. Just wrapped this job and it was kind of a doozy. You know, I lost my good friend Norman right before starting this music video. And then right in the middle of it was just me and Matt Hazelrig doing this music video. We got help from a couple other people, but it was mostly me and Matt through the whole thing. Excuse me. And right in the middle of it, Matt lost one of his good buddies. And it was a short schedule. We did a 5-minute music video, all animated. Beautiful camera moves and just handmade film, you know. It was 5 minutes, and we shot it in 3 weeks. I did a week of art. I set dressed and you know, went and bought all the little items and sort of art directed and production design and the whole thing and everything. But Matt threw some lights on it and we shot the thing in 3 weeks. We shot 5 minutes. 5 minutes of stop motion in 3 weeks. It was just between the two of us. We got help from David Braun did a shot. Hans Vogelli did a shot, a little insert shot. And they're doing a little bit of post on it right now. Thomas Bailey's working on it. And I got some help from Zach Tolchinsky, who did some shadow puppet stuff. He made some paper shadow puppet characters, and he did post. He painted, in After Effects, he painted some of the rods out with a clean plate we shot. Just for one shot. But it was really nice working with Matt. It was really nice being in this sort of intimate cocoon. And we were both... It was a really melancholy, beautiful song by Eric Clapton. It had this gorgeous little guitar solo in it. And we were trying to do something about just memories and daydreaming and that feeling of just sort of that golden emotion that you have when you're reminiscing and you're maybe there's some longing in there and some melancholy. There's some maybe a sense of loss, but it's a celebration of a friendship that maybe grew apart. And Matt and I, we've been making stuff together for over 20 years. And we haven't worked together in a while, so it was really special to just be me and him on a stage. You know, tossing it up, just, hey, let's try this, let's do this, hey, have you thought of this? You know, we were just... we were wearing all the hats, you know, I storyboarded the whole thing and played the AD a little bit. I had a big board with some shots pinned up there. But we were both searching for the frame together, composing these nice frames, and then the movement of the camera. We both had a real hand in sort of figuring that out. We borrowed a motion control rig from Les Bernstein. Leslie hooked us up. He gave such a deal. Oh my God, we had such a shoestring budget on this thing. No money, no time. But we finished it. We finished it with, I don't know, like 2.5 hours to spare. We finished it on the last, at 9:30 on the last evening. So on time, on budget. Yeah, that was groovy. That was nice. We wanted to do that. We wanted to honor the time frame and try to, be responsible with that. And it kind of got. I sort of tossed the football to David Braun, because he sort of is the liaison with the clients, and it was really his job. He couldn't do it. He was awarded this job, and he had to go out of town. And he was like, "Mish, can you step in and do this?" And I said, "Yeah, well, it's if this is what the budget is, it's just going to be me and Matt. I can't afford to hire anyone else." And so we did, and then he came back into town, and so he's sort of running the football across the finish line, because they want little tiny changes that he's going to provide. But the lion's share of the work we did at Matt's studio there. And we used his beautiful lenses. He has these Ultranon lenses that we shot on these Sony cameras. And the combination of the Sony is so high resolution, and the lenses are so sharp, that we had to really work hard to get the aesthetic we wanted, because we wanted it to look like crummy old Super 8, with lots of lens flares, and because it was all this feeling of, what does nostalgia feel like? What does it look like? What do memories look like? And so it was really, really a lot of fun to sort of pour all the love into the lens like that, which is something Matt and I like to do anyway, when we're working together. And the song is so pretty. It's such a pretty song, and I love Eric Clapton's work. He's been a staple of my whole life. Every decade he's put out music, different types of music. And this one, feels like a lot of reflecting on a life. And, the fact that Matt lost a friend, I lost a friend, we sort of poured a lot of meaning into everything that we were doing. I don't think we did it consciously. We were just scrambling, hauling ass. We were trying to go as fast as we could to get it done. But in retrospect, when looking back, I'm really proud of what we did, under the time constraints and everything. Week 1, we did about a minute, and I was like, we got 4 minutes left. And week 2, we did about 3.5 minutes. Excuse me, we just cranked. We just really, really, we're just cruising through shots. And putting a lot of red up on the big board. It felt good. And then at the end, we had a little bottleneck on a couple of effects, and thought we weren't going to finish, but we did. We finished right down to the wire. And it was meaningful, looking back. It was, I listened to this woman who sort of does these guided meditations. And she really talks a lot about putting meaning in your work and finding meaning and making meaning in your life. And that was resonating with me while shooting this. It's like this idea of making meaning, consciously making meaning. And that being an activity that you can actually engage in. I mean, I guess it seemed novel to me. I really tried hard to make meaning with Fred, my short film Fred, but I've been pretty cynical and jaded over the years. And it's hard. It's hard when your hopes get dashed and you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or you're stacking up these wounds, these professional wounds. And there was a point at which I was like, oh God, you stack up enough of them and you're just like, oh geez. Well, why am I doing anything? What's the point of anything? And it's little jobs like this, I made no money, but it was a real blessing to work through the loss of a friend in a real physical way with an old pal that I love and respect. And then in the middle of the show, Matt loses one of his friends. And it was a medical complication. It was real tragic. It was a guy that Matt used to play music with in Portland. And it really hit him. It really hit him hard. Because he was planning on playing on this album. He was going to go record with him. And that event was coming up. And I'm not bringing this up to sort of elicit any kind of wah, poor me sympathy type trip. I'm just saying that work can be so therapeutic. We were burning the midnight oil. We literally worked 30 days in a row. Matt got sick one of those days. It was actually right after he heard about the news. He, I think, kind of needed to go on a little bit of a tiny bender. And I just gave him a whole. It was about a day and a half off. Just, he just needed to lay in bed and sip soup and mourn. But then he was up and at 'em. And he did a fucking fantastic job. Good Lord. The reason why the video looks great is because it was shot so beautifully. And I made a lot of requests. And so Matt really met me halfway and worked hard to sort of fulfill this vision that I had. I was chasing a feeling. And I think that's what music videos are all about, is you're chasing a feeling. And then, I had my little director's cut, and we turned it in. And ever since I turned it in, I've just been watching it here and there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm really proud of that. I really love what we did. It's beautiful stuff. It's kind of slow, but we tried some very unique things, and I think we pulled off some interesting stuff. And it's a unique aesthetic that I think really pairs nicely with the song. And it was an activity that me and my old friend Matt Hazelrig, I think, really, really needed. You know, for me, it was like going on a staycation or something. You know, you go out with like an old pal and just like, you know, I didn't see my family a whole lot. Matt had some car trouble, so I was going to his house, picking him up, working with him all day, dropping him off. So we hung out. We ate all the meals together. It was intense. It was really intimate, and it was really, really special. And I think it comes across in the work. I don't know how it's going to turn out. The football is in somebody else's hands, and they're running it. Dave's going to run it somewhere. Hopefully it ends up looking nice after, the client kind of fixes a few things. But look out for Eric Clapton's The Call. Coming to a streaming service near you. Anyway, that's about it.